Hello everyone. Today's video is going to cover ChromeVox. That's Vox with a V. V as in Victor. ChromeVox is the Chromebook's spoken feedback or text-to-speech software. It's built into every Chromebook, so if you have those and you have a visually impaired student or someone who would benefit from spoken feedback, then great. It's already built in. Now, ChromeVox is typically meant for a visually impaired person or someone who just needs that spoken feedback all the time. If you don't need that all the time, if you don't need the entire page read or to navigate around using spoken feedback, I highly recommend you use the other accessibility tools such as uh, hover over text, or where was that at? Select to speak, sorry, not hover over text. Either use select to speak or use another product like an extension that can do some of those similar features. There's plenty of them out there. Some of them are free, some of them are paid options. But if you are needing to navigate fully within a browser, ChromeVox is definitely what you're after. And really to enable that, again, as you saw before, you'd click near the clock or the Wi-Fi settings and click on the accessibility button. If you don't see that, you should be able to click on the gear icon like I've covered in my other videos of how to enable accessibility settings. And if that's even gone, or if it says it's blocked by your administrator, you definitely want to either submit a help ticket or email your tech department to get in touch with them to get those features turned on. Hopefully they're not disabled, but if they are, you have some lines of communication to get those turned on. So that on.
ChromeVox spoke address and search.
Now you notice right away that the top of the screen, it kind of does bring back a little bit of the screen real estate, adding this ChromeVox bar at the top. But this is so that you can easily navigate and configure the software. So some of the settings, some of the
ChromeVox options. ChromeVox options.
technical aspects are going to be into this gear icon. When you click those, and then turn on verbose descriptions, I've turned that off because it reads everything for every page you go to. So when you go to a new tab, it reads the tab URL, which from this
address and search bar. Chrome extension : //Mindinfo KPG.
Which is also why it's so important to have alt text and things like that are not overly verbose, and how to have links that are short URLs rather than having the full URL on the page. Text under the mouse.
Speak text under the mouse.
Because this is very much like the hover speech, but it's still going to navigate around the page using these shortcuts. And speaking of shortcuts, the best way to get to learn ChromeVox is to use it.
ChromeVox menus.
Click
ChromeVox
on the ChromeVox
options.
menus, and then in the ChromeVox menus, depending on what page you're on, you'll see certain things, but you'll typically always see search.
Go to beginning of tape.
You can search for commands. You can find out how to jump to different parts on a web page. Under speech, these are your telling it to tell you certain things on the page, not to navigate the page, but to tell you certain things around on the page. But one of the first things I would highly recommend that you do with ChromeVox is turn on the kind of like the training mode. And you do that, there's a shortcut. To turn on the training mode, press the search key, because most of the shortcuts start with search. Search key O, and then let go and
ChromeVox
press K.
options. ChromeVox options.
Didn't do it fast
Heading
enough.
1.
So
Press any key to learn its name. Control plus W will
Put the mouse off of there. So this lets you know
W
anytime you press a key,
Q G F.
It lets you know what you're doing. You can also do this with refreshable Braille devices such as a Mantis. If you can get that to work with the Chromebook, there are refreshable Braille devices that function with Chromebooks. You can do touch gestures, and it'll also tell you what those are going to do. Like if I press Control by itself.
Control. Stop speech.
If it's in the middle of a speech on a website, it's going to stop speaking. So it's good to have that active so you can press. So you can
stopping learn mode.
So once you're more comfortable with the training mode, you can start playing around with some of the commands, the shortcut keys on other websites. And one of the button commands are something to, we're used to tab.
Edit text. Search. 1, 2, 3.
Things by pressing tab. But if you want to specifically find buttons, you would hold down the search key and press B.
Search. Default.
And went to the search button.
1.
If I press it again, it goes down to the
4, 5. Previous.
Code
Next.
Buttons.
Facebook.
Now it's found the buttons inside the Facebook widget. Now, if we wanted to, say we're still down here, and we want to go back to the top of the main content, we click on this, or we touch Search, Control, left arrow.
Facebook.
And that allows us to either press Enter or click. I'm just going to press Enter. Now we're up at the top of the web page again. If we needed to go to the bottom, we can do Search, Control, right arrow, and that brings us to the next content on the page.
Office.
Now, the way this is configured, this has lots of different frames, and so it just really took us to the next frame.
Skip to main content.
You can do search control down
Enable
arrow,
accessibility for visually impaired.
and this is now finding content throughout the website. And the content are things like this
Accessibility menu.
button that's built into the website, or questions, and these are pop-ups. And so if we keep
State of
using
Arkansas
the
portal website.
search control
State
down,
state
see now I've clicked off of it, so it's choosing the content
division
based off the window.
state skip to main. Enable open the accessible
And so we can press enter
division
on
of elementary and secondary
activate,
education home page.
Activate that portion of the web page. So again, the best way to use ChromeVox or to learn about it is to use it and get very familiar with those shortcut keys, because they'll save you a lot of time, especially for visually impaired students. Someone who's first learning this, it's going to take a while. But once you master those shortcut keys, you can really start getting around on this. But as mentioned previously, if you're not needing full spoken feedback, if you're only needing like text to read on hover, things like that, there's a lot of other options in the device for that. And there's also other add-ons to the browser, because the ChromeVox will read everything on the page if you tell it to. And sometimes, if you don't have it configured correctly, it can kind of get on your nerves if you're not needing all of that detail. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to make another video about what you'd like to see. Have a great day.